Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Tubi Horror Weekend 5 continues with Satanic Panic. Or if you've seen it on your Walmart shelves, Panic. Yeah, I guess Walmart doesn't like certain words, and Satanic is one of them. It's always just Panic. I remember seeing it under the name Panic, and I was confused. I'm like, Satanic Panic is like a sequel? No, it's not. It's a horror comedy starring Rebecca Romaine, Jerry O'Connell, Haley Griffith, Ruby Modine, and my favorite Rob Zombie collaborator, Jeff Daniel Phillips. Because even if the movie is shit, most of them are, Jeff Daniel Phillips is pretty good in it. Like, Lords of Salem, he's pretty good in that, you know. He's alright as Summer Monster. But, yeah. So the story is a pizza girl named Sam delivers a pizza to this house on the rich side of town, and she doesn't get a tip. So she goes into the house for a tip, and she encounters a satanic cult who kidnap her because she's a virgin, because they need a virgin for a sacrifice, of course, and they plan to release the demon Baphomet using her, and so she ends up trying to fight them off throughout the night and survive. So that is the plan, and yeah, this was unexpected for me. I actually wasn't into it at the beginning of the movie. I was kind of doing other things, looking up stuff. I'm like, oh, I have to sit and watch this movie. I have to watch this movie. So I went once. You know, I missed the very beginning, but once she went back in for the tip, because she brings the pizzas there, one of them which has corn on it. I don't know. And hold on. And there's this mustache guy who they later find out is part of the cult. But he doesn't give her a tip. So she goes into the house to get the tip. And she even sees this woman there. And she's like, oh no, you gotta leave. Like, you gotta leave right now. But she doesn't, and she announces herself to the people. And they're talking, which like, okay, if I was this woman, tip or not, right? If I don't get this tip, I hear them talking about Satan, my ass is gone. Okay? You gotta welcome yourself to Satan. And I'd be like, alright, you know, I am gonna leave. Yeah. There is some contrivedness. There is some, you know, not contrivedness, but, like, the writing in this is not as strong as it could be. Like, the writing in this, it cares itself to this movie so that they're in this position that they're in. So, it's a couple times where you think, she should be safe, but she's not. Okay, so first of all, she gets knocked out. She wakes up in a den with Jerry O'Connell, who is Danica's husband. Danica is played by Rebecca Romaine. Of course, they're married in real life. And he's been locked. His name is Samuel, and he's been locked down there because he refuses to go along with their plan. And because their daughter was a part of their plan. But anyway, he realizes that she's a virgin, and so he decides to try to convince her to have sex with him so that, you know, they won't be able to use it. Which is not a bad idea, but the way, you know, he's got a point, but the way he goes about it, he's like in his underwear completely, which give up to Jerry O'Connell for just going pure undies there. Tidy whities abound. But it doesn't work, and he ends up dead. Then Sam gets away. And then Danica takes his heart and creates like a thing out of it later. She runs to a near house, and this is where the first contrivance, the first, you know, coinkydink, the first, you know, happenstance of we have to run it this way so that it can be convenient for the coven. So she gets to this house, and she talks to this girl who's babysitting these kids. She's like, I need your help. She's like, fine. I'll call the police. He's like, here, drink this Coca-Cola, DM, and the sugar will help you calm down. Or the sugar will help you get your string back or something like that. And before she can drink it all, she hears a noise. And there's just two kids who come up, they grab her drink, and one of them drinks her drink. And as soon as she gave it to her, I'm like, okay, that's poison, right? Or something. And sure enough, one of the kids drops. And it's later implied that both of those kids are dead? That doesn't make any sense. Because they don't want to kill her. If she's working with the coven, then she wouldn't want to kill her. She wouldn't want to knock him out. She says to the one kid, no, he's just sleepy. Although he could be lying. And the other kid electrocutes himself. And then there's another, her sister's upstairs with a drill dough on, and she finds another girl tied up, which turns out to be Danica's daughter. Danica and Samuel's daughter. And she rescues her. It's Ruby Modine from the Happy Death Day movies. And she rescues her, and they decide they have to get out of there. But here is convenience number 2. They could just get on her motorcycle and leave. But they don't, because, well, the bike hasn't been taken out, tires have been slashed. No, they don't go because Judy, this is her character's name, refuses to ride on one. If that ain't the laziest way to keep them in that neighborhood I've ever heard of. That is just... Someone was sitting there writing this, we have to figure out a way for them to stay. Because her motorcycle's still out there. Why couldn't you just have it be where the coven slashed the tires? It makes so much more sense. But no, they need that for the end of the movie. So they couldn't do that. They need to have the bike there for the end of the movie. So they couldn't do that. So instead, she just doesn't want to... how about Judy just... when we caught dead on those, and she's a rich, spoiled brat. So, yeah, it turns out that she was supposed to be sacrificed to Baphomet. When she found out, and she's like a virgin till marriage thing, she got a promise ring. But when she found out, she boned the first guy she could find so that she wouldn't be a victim. Just another victim. You know, like Taz would say. So now, you know, there's a cool scene where, Danica's second in command has enough of her failures, and they apparently kill Danica at one point. I was like, okay, she's gone, but she's able to use magic to come back, I guess. I don't know. And they do a spell on... this is before they kill Danica. They do a spell on Judy, but Judy is able to, with help from Sam, put a whole bunch of hex marks on her body so that so that it stops working and they're safe. This makes the second in command lady realize, makes Gypsy realize that Danica taught her daughter the book. And so, yeah. Then they kill Danica, even though she had to tell them where they are. Conveniently, they call her afterwards saying they want to give themselves up, but it's a trap. They're in Gypsy's house. It's a trap, and they go through the Veil of Shadows. And somehow, by this point, Danica has brought herself back to life using entrails or something. She invites this guy that Duncan, this Sam knows who's not her boyfriend, but someone, the guy she knows. I thought it was her boss, but no, their boss at the end of the movie, so I don't know who he's supposed to be. Friend of hers or something, I don't know. Anyway, and she ends up just outside the woods with her car in front of the two girls. And then she brandishes her daughter's necklace, and which she uses as a, to conjure a spell. And I went, no bullshit. Because the last time we saw that was in Gypsy's house. And she was at her house. And for her to get that, she would have to go to Gypsy's house and get that back. And Gypsy and all the other members are there and have not seen her, because when she shows up at the ritual thing, they're all shocked to see her there. So how did she get that necklace? It makes no sense unless she used some sort of magic to get it, which she wouldn't know that it was there. So I don't know. Convenience. Again, it's convenience for sake of convenience. They need to have her have that necklace, so somehow she got it. I don't know how. It makes no sense. And really, the ending is balls to the walls, and it's all right, but I feel like it could have been done better. So we got to Sam and Judy tied to this altar, and everyone is there, and Danica kills Gypsy. And they put this, she makes a big deal about putting this whole salt thing around, but when Gypsy dies, she lands on the salt and drags him off, so, And I should mention that earlier on in the movie, when Sam and Judy are trying to escape the house, the first house they're in, Sam sees a little girl on a balcony and just kind of smiling at her. And I was like, what, do they have another daughter, or who is that? No, that comes back later. So she starts to get impregnated with Baphomet. And then starts this mantra that she says whenever she gets scared. 2 fuzzy bunnies, 2 fuzzy bunnies, 2 fuzzy bunnies. And she gives birth to 2 fuzzy bunnies. And just when everything's at it. By the way, there's like an orgy going on in the background too. I don't know. Everyone just be fucking at this point. But then everything disappears. And the little girl is there. She introduces herself as Samael, who's a princess of hell, the little girl, take any form. And says that she's angry because they are worshipping Baphomet, who is a very lower level demon, and whatever, is a high level demon and should be worshipped first. And thanks to the death of Gypsy, she was able to sneak in. And but she said, I was like, well, what about me? What happens to me? She goes, well, because you helped us by not giving birth to Baphomet, we'll kill you quick. And she's like, what? No, the Code of the Sams. What? The Code of the Sams. We're both Sam. And Samael, Sam. We have to help each other. You made that up. No, it's a real thing. And so she eats the bunny, and everything goes back to the way it was. And she's like, Sam, run. And so she did reanimate Gypsy's corpse, cut off Danica's head. And then she takes the other bunny, Sam takes the other bunny and runs. All the other people die. And die. And, yeah. Sam goes back to her job. She basically quits to go to Australia, which I think that was mentioned that her boyfriend went there. That's why she was going there, I think. There's some kind of speech when she was trying to help Judy about her boyfriend. They both had cancer and they went into remission, but it came back, and then she went in remission, and he didn't, so she never visited him. Somebody Australia, I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty good. Judy gets killed. I forgot to mention that. She gets her, before Baphomet can be born, Sam gets free, and she tells Danica to free Judy from her chains, but instead she slashes her throat. And I'm just like, no, I don't like that. They went through this whole movie together. they had that whole scene of Sam saving her from what would have been a pretty gnarly death, just so she can die from being slit in the throat. No, if you're gonna kill her off, she should have died in that scene with the worms and everything. She should have died in that scene if you were gonna kill her off, not just laying there tied up and slit throat. That's lame. If you were gonna have her survive that big magic spell thing, then she should have survived the whole movie. And what does her death lead to? Sam calling the bunny Judy Jr., which you don't do with females, but I don't know. Little Judy, maybe. But, yeah, I'm still going to give it a pretty good, because I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And it's another one I'm putting on my list to order from eBay, because I just keep picking winners, you know? But once again, there was nothing that caught my eye. But I have some that I've written down. Actually, they did pop up something at the end of what should be next, so maybe. But, yeah, so what are your thoughts on Satanic Panic? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.